Manchester United won a good victory against Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup last night, again, exclusively on ESPN+. And here's the reaction from the boys regarding last night's victory. Check it out.
I tell you what, we could have put a team together from FC here and gave Man United a tougher game than Crystal Palace. All they had to do was get a positive result, Man United that is, get some injured players that need game time on the field. They did that. It was a breeze for Amrabat, passing the ball around. He started at left back, floated into midfield. Varane got some game time. Casemiro didn't have to break sweat. Garnacho got himself a goal. Martial got himself a goal. And really, I don't remember any big challenges or any Man United player having to overexert himself. And by the way, they've got Palace again at the weekend in the league. So it was a changed Palace side. I must say it was certainly not the strongest. But Roy Hodgson had thrown the towel in his press conference before this game, saying, we just can't, the usual Premier League speak, we just can't cope.
There you go.
There's none of these managers can cope in it. We just can't cope. We just can't cope with cup competitions these days. As if cup competitions are something that just popped up in the last 5 or 6 years. Yep. None of these managers now, with the biggest squads they've ever had, can cope.
Absolute dream for Ten Hag, to have this sort of fixture at this time when you've been under pressure.
Yes, please. Yeah. I mean, Harry Maguire looked like Franz Beckenbauer today.
He didn't have touched the ball, did he?
He actually made a challenge.
There you go.
I mean, yeah, it was absolutely perfect. They got everybody on the field pretty much that they wanted. They got some goals. I mean, look, you got to give them credit. You can only beat what's in front of you, and they absolutely comfortably walloped them. So, yeah, you have to be positive.
I love how Stevie was like dying. He didn't want to give United an inch of a compliment, Janusz, and he just did it. I mean, obviously, yes, the competitive nature of Palace, the rotated squad in the Carabao Cup was different, but a victory is a victory. This is surely just a good thing for Ten Hag's squad.
Yes, it was perfect in one way, and as I've said, when United were just a week ago not doing great, I just felt that the Burnley game and this game is going to be important. It is. They've recovered a couple of players. Mason Mount looked the sort of player that they thought they were going to get, even for a shorter period of time. I think yesterday on the show I said that they look spent, which they do, but also yesterday the fact that Casemiro played the whole game, which is positive, because I think when I said they look spent, I've talked about the preseason, which no teams have proper preseason these days. And it's an issue because you saw that from United, and Casemiro just maybe playing himself into shape. And that's the reason that he was there the full game. I wonder if it was, but I could put a few bucks on that one. You take it in this particular game because, this was a great example of why the League Cup should be just tossed out the window. I mean, it's if Crystal Palace rotates in a competition where they actually can get something, because they'll never get any other trophy anywhere. We're going to see Crystal Palace again, somewhere in the middle of the table, or 12, 13, 14. It tells you everything about this competition. For big teams, if it pops up for you that you're in all of a sudden after a couple of games in the semifinal, then fair play, you take it. For United, having won it last season, for me makes, that trophy, I wouldn't even spend a second thinking about it. And I'm unless you get there somehow, just because you rotate. But, for Crystal Palace yesterday, I'm thinking to myself, what's your reason to exist? Just to exist in the Premier League? So I don't understand that competition at all. And I'm sure people are going to tell me smaller clubs, this one, well, let the smaller clubs play in this competition, right? I mean, there should be just one cup competition everywhere. This is just my opinion. If you love it, go to it. But if you're going to continue to talk about, players needing rest, it makes zero sense. So anyway, for Manchester United, absolutely needed. They need to confirm that again at Old Trafford against a Crystal Palace that now has absolutely zero excuse. So if they get hammered, I'm not saying they will. Nothing against Roy Hodgson, nothing against Crystal Palace, by the way, just competition in general. But they should be rested for United. Obviously, some of the key United players are going to be there. And this is just kind of getting yourself, in the rhythm of the league, where Manchester United can forget about all the negativity, because there's been plenty since they've started, but now slowly but surely to move up to where they should be, and I believe will be at the end of the season. Again, top 4 or very close. But obviously, they would say they need to be in the top four, which I believe they can be.
Obviously, different conversations regarding the Carabao Cup, but it also allows a bit of an opportunity for those rotated players. Did any name there for you, Janusz? Maybe put a hey, Erik ten Hag, I'm here. You can maybe start me this weekend. Anybody you think that from the rotated players, you think they could break into that starting 11?
No, look, because I think we saw Sofyan Amrabat, the sort of Amrabat that we thought that we're going to get. Probably the best, I don't want to say Dutch player. I mean, the best player that he knows. Obviously, Amrabat, I think, went through all the youth teams in Utrecht when he was there. So when I look at the Dutch players or players that came from that Dutch Eredivisie and Ten Hag knows probably the best of them all, in my opinion, or at least a one that's going to be the most important one from all the players that I can think of right now, unless of course Onana comes good to the level that Manchester United think he can be at. So for him, that's important. Mason Mount, good minutes, good assists. I mean, created 3 or 4 chances in that game. So pretty good. Looks like he's okay. He came off, which probably he would have come off anyway, but some thought that was a bit of an injury. He himself thinks that he's going to be ready for the weekend. So other than that, I don't think I saw anything special because it's pretty much same names that have been kind of in and out of the lineup. Just a question. I mean, has anyone worked themselves into starting 11? Probably not, other than Amrabat.
Yeah, some interesting players.
Mason Mount's going to be there when healthy, so that's not an issue.
Yeah, the 45 minutes, I think, were just timed regarding his return from injury. And Facundo Pellistri looks a player. We'll see how his future continues.